All right, good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. Okay. Got my cheat sheets here. Following my morning routine. I woke up, drank a full bottle of water, had my vitamins. More than a full bottle of water. I've really struggled taking. Fun fact: I just really struggled taking like pills and vitamins, and so that was a challenge this morning. Had breakfast, had 5 eggs and a few pancakes. For whatever reason, I woke up like a little before 4:30. No alarm, no nothing, just got up. So, um, been up for a bit. Damn, the news guy's loud. Um, Watching yesterday's stream back, I realized I talked about Meta a couple times, and I hardly ever talk about Netflix. I watch it as just part of like the kind of the top 10 here. But I don't ever really like discuss Netflix in terms of like playing it. So I just swap them so that Meta's in the middle here and it'll be easier to see. So they're a little bit out of alphabetical order, but that's fine. I'm just going to run through these really quickly and I want to just kind of get a feel for where they are and what they look like. So, Apple bullish day, gapping down slightly, immediately filling it and closing up higher. It is approaching the daily 20 EMA. You can see this on the daily chart as well. You kind of see it's in this sort of pattern here. I have a lot of drawings, but they are meaningful to me. So, and if you can see how we had made this move from here to here, move down, and then are just kind of chopping in this lower range. Kind of what looking at. I think we discussed this on the podcast where Apple's at. So, I said on the podcast this week, if I had to be anything on Apple, it would be bullish. And so, nice job here with this candle. So we'll see if this is going to continue higher or not. Obviously, they are at the one of the names that's at the huge risk of tariffs, right? So leave Apple be. Basically opening flat from yesterday. Now let's see with AMD gapped up, held the gap up, and just like absolutely pushed. Was a strong name yesterday, which is great. I believe that I need to. If this is all, yeah, this is completely filled gap here. But I do like how when we filled this gap, you see how we started chopping into it. We left this little bit of the gap that we didn't kind of like touch, and then we came down and basically we're expecting this, and then broke and based off of this level as well. So interesting, but it did leave a gap up here. There is another gap to be filled above on AMD up until like 117s. So we'll see if this is going to be strong for like a follow through day. Let's go back to that on the daily chart real quick. Clear set. So it is looking like it is trying to hold some strength here coming off of the lows, right? So April 9th lows, similar to the overall market. Just sort of holding this area, right? This flag. Hims is breaking highs, so that's a good name. Wish I had gotten in that name a long time ago. But yeah, nice little flag here on the daily, and so we're looking for a follow through to continue up here. But really nice off the daily 20 EMA. All right, go to the 10-minute chart. Okay. And basically, it's flat right now into the open. Here we have Amazon. Back to the gap. Gapped up, filled the gap, knife down, pre-market lows held, and it pushed the remainder of the day with the market. Right, this looks nearly identical to how the NQ chart looks. So then on the daily chart, we have here, we do have this gap to fill above. And then overall, you know, a very similar look to AMD where, you know, I do have this like descending wedge that's broken. You can see it's kind of like flag here with this, however you want to slice it. It's looking good, and I'm looking for it to, I think we have an opportunity to break over 215 like a couple of weeks. So maybe I'll look to see, just a tough one though with the tariffs. But big thing too that I see, and I think this was the drawings for the day, but like we have this gap up here. This is where it went from the close here to the open there. And let me just like, damn, I got like weird drawing sets. I'm gonna remove this. So forget it. We'll just see this closing day here. Close here. This open here is a huge gap up. Then look at how we held the golden zone of that gap along the 20 EMA here. So and then when we went back to the top of the gap, we came back down, holding a higher low here, and we're looking like surge upwards. So I do think Amazon over 215 in the next week. If it can gain some strength, it you know, can definitely do that, right? With an ATR of 6, yeah, we could be there in a couple days. But you know, no problem, right? If we just give it a few weeks, maybe on like a swing play. So I'll think about that. But this looks good in pre-market, right? This looks like it's forming a nice, you know, kind of like you have this weird like, oh shit. But I'd say banana is like famous for drawing these like crooked cups and then handles, but like this does seem to be playing out. Banana's famous for a lot of things. All right, AVGO, strong move, right? It gapped up, held the gap. Now it appears to be gapping up again. Is at 250. It is very close to an all-time high breakout. All right, so very curious. And watching this one here, watching this one for a while. You can see that this is a name that put in its low before, a ways before the tariff relief day of 4. And then when the tariffs were announced, the gap down here was not as considerable as it was on other names. So, for obvious reasons, right? Okay. So Google is a weak name. So we can see that Google, I think just due to the news, there's something with Apple. Catch the whole story. But we just look at this unfilled 530 to 62 gap down. Unfilled 530 to 6/2 gap down. So I will know immediately. This is just kind of actually that's how I do my TA, right, on these gaps. It's like the #1 thing I chart. Everything else is done automatically, right? Dark or the thicker lines here are previous day's highs and low. The thinner ones are pre-market high and low. So we'll go through it. But I chart these out this way to mark where the gap is, and then if the gap is not filled on the first day, I will just make a highlighted area so I know what's remaining, right? Because we can get a couple weeks down the road, and I'm like, okay, like, well, what is this gap? And I say, oh, well, this highlighted area is not filled, and then as it gets filled, I continue to shrink it, right? So, like, you know, if as we move into it. So, but Meta is coming down here to test this daily EMA territory. Let's go to the daily chart. And so, you know, Meta is gapping down. We have the daily 20 EMA and we have the daily 50 EMA. Literally right here. So we're in the 160s area. does look like it has this possibility of kind of rounding over right after filling this gap. Filled this gap here. Kind of looking like it's made a lower high here on the bouncy ball. We're making the lower, so we'll see. But it's Google we're talking about, right? We only got 5 minutes to the open. I would say I'm a little behind this morning, but not bad. Shit, let me go show back to Google. I did put in the gap there. Perfect. I'm sorry. Netflix. It's that habit. I go Google Meta. Netflix continues to move higher, right? So just all-time high breaks, all-time high breaks. It's just cooking up. I did see that there's a bank that put it, gave it an overweight rating, and Microsoft on the daily approaching this major gap here, major gap resistance right here from this gap down. Strong color. Bump that down a little bit. There we go. That looks better. So interesting though, needs to get over 462s and then it'll break into this gap, and then boom, it's got clear skies ahead above the all-time highs. It gapped down and immediately filled that gap of the first. Very strong, very, very strong. If we look at look at this gap fill level, right? Well, what happened? There was no candle by candle flip here, and there was respect of the gap fill, right? The buyers were holding this, and then it did just continue to chop. Wasn't a good move. It was only a $2 move into the close, but it did fill it, and now it's a flat open. Meta, huge move. Meta was the one yesterday, and I'm really bummed about it because I chose Nvidia, and I ended up just like stopping out of Nvidia. And those cons, like going back and look at them, they really didn't do much. They did hit like where my third target was, but it was nothing crazy when we get there. But Meta is looking very strong. And this is a nice, really nice curl here, and it just crazy put in a $29 candle. Gosh, like this 650 to 673. Damn, that would have been some nice runners. Is what it is, but we'll look at it basically flat to the open today. This is Nvidia. Nvidia held this area here. That's where I entered. You can see, I mean, it did. I think this is where I chose to stop out, like on the middle of this candle once it started coming down. You see, I looked at the contracts. They did go a good 10% against my entry price, which wouldn't have been too bad, but ultimately it didn't break the cloud, didn't break this 512 cloud, and it did curl back upwards. So could have re-entered if I stayed around, but I was happy to exit early and just kind of get the break. I proceeded to sit in the D, so which was fine. It gave me an opportunity to rewatch the morning post it. It was time well spent, I guess, but just sucked sitting in. Really sucks sitting in the DMV for 3 hours. I gotta say that, like, really, really sucks. All right. So yeah, daily looking good. It's holding the EMAs. Let's see if it's gonna push back up and break over the earnings day high at 143s. We got 1 minute to the open, so okay. I don't plan on taking a trade for the first few minutes. So Tesla gap down, slightly filled the gap, rejected this MTF, came all the way down to 333, and then pushed back up and closed here. So it did close the day bearish. Now it's back up here. It's right up, back up here to this. Honestly, I'm just gonna delete this gap altogether. I don't need those lines on there. So it's fine. But this does look like it's got the potential for like a MTF bounce here now that it's over it on this side, that it could come down, hit this, and then 340s, maybe even hit the close and then pop. So let's get back to the top 10 tickers here. Good. Gonna get some zoom action. Markets are open. Good luck to everybody who's trading today. When you're, no, you can't. You're not watching me live, but yeah. Boom. There we go. Market popping. Let's go over to NQ. Okay. Oops. Okay, that's actually a close. We do have a little bit of a gap up here. We're gapping up over yesterday's RTH high and now just pushing. So very good. Very good move. I did enter a paper trade long in here. Just a sim trade. I call it sim now because it's on those top step accounts I can't trade. So go figure. Wonder if I can find anything pretty good.
You're listening to Brain FM. We mix neuroscience and music to guide your brain into peak mental states. This is a focus track. Scale study. Focus music. It works best.
Headphone cord is like stuck and holding down. All right. Remember the basics, right? My predicting price action or my reading price action. Luck doesn't scale, happens to. Wicks to the damage, buy, sell story. And I have my whole life in front of me. Can I repeat this trade setup for the rest of my life? Follow the system. And this is why you do not chase an opening move. So we just barely swept over yesterday's high and, you know, we are rejecting. So, anyways, this is those. Never mind. I was going to say I'll show you the paper trading accounts, but just never mind. Let's say, I'm in from. Why can't I? There we go. I'm in from right here. And I'm just gonna put a breaking. I've already scaled, so I'm just gonna put like a. I don't know. I don't. How much do we really want to get back here? But I don't care. So. Yeah. The one thing is, I would say, like obviously I had this area marked and we pushed into it yesterday. We pressed it over and then obviously look how we fell back into. Look at that, the 50% of the range. So now you guys kind of understand the entry there. You know, entering in at I mean this says 05.5. My entry is 06.5. So the whatever gap we had is filled, right? So we'll just straighten this up, close this for now, and we'll move on to VIX. So VIX, where's my closing line? Here's the close. And look, we gap down and we're just about to fill that gap, right? So I do want to have, because we had this little gap here, I want to have an alert like to right there. And I think I want to leave this alert right here, but just under today's low day. So what this area is, where is it? Where is it? Okay, so we had this gap up and we came down into, I'm gonna have to draw this again. This area here, just below the 61.8. I believe that's very close to the 78.6. It is close to the 78.6. Okay, so This is the unfilled gap up 516, 519. We're gonna just go ahead and extend this out for a year. Easiest way for me to not like lose track of it. So yeah, so I want to see an alert here when we encroach on that 50%, and then I'm going to just mark this hit as well. So this is 529 low. 5/29 pre-market low. Flash. Low day. Yeah. You see how VIX bounced at 18.25? So it's important to note that because right, these are like key levels, right? When you get down to the quarters. So go to the 10-minute chart. In 26. All right. But we do not need that line. We know where low day is. Okay, so there we go. So gap is filled now. Initial pop is sold off. And just a reminder, I'm gonna just close out this trade. I feel like let's fuck it. Let it go. Let it go. Fuck it. I need to stop watching it. Is what I need to do. Or the problem I have here. UNH bouncing off 300. VIX. Yeah. Okay, we have this unfilled gap here on ES, right? We just went over it and we flushed and we still couldn't push back up. So that is a big area of focus. And you can see how we rejected once we like encroached that gap again, came back down, bounce, and moving back up. So ES actually gapped down, NQ actually gapped up, and then they both have filled their gaps. So there's nothing to draw. But since this is holding, I am looking for ES to push. And let's see. Let's create an alert. Single alert. 59. At or above 59.55. Gap filled. And we want to make this ring. It'll be like that. Gross. Hello, pooches. The pooches are awake. Sorry, I'm just talking to my wife, and it's cold in here, everybody. It was cold this morning. I actually had looked at it said it was 41 degrees outside this morning. As disgusting as that sounds. Actually, the RTH high, I think, is right here. No. Right here. And then RTH low is right there. I don't need it to be exact. It's close enough. I'll just kind of know roughly where we are. All right. So candle by candle is flipped short. Man, Meta huge rejection off 675. Swept the pre-market high, previous day high, and dropped hard. I don't like this short though. Yeah, wow. Okay, I was gonna say based off what I'm seeing other names do, I don't like the idea of shorting it. I also just like first look, I saw wick. I was just like because you see like, you know, we flip here, but the 2 minute actually never flip, which is like bizarre. It's like 10-minute flips, 2 minute didn't. So AVGO strong. Google's at those daily EMAs like I talked about, just wicked under pre-market low. Tesla broke previous day high, pre-market high, and wicked down. I'm watching though. I want to see if this cloud that I mentioned, that yellow cloud, is gonna hold. Nvidia, nice. Meta's trying to bounce back. Let's see. Yeah, and, ES didn't flip. So when I look at, oh shit, what? Hold on. Let me see this. There we go. So we don't have bases loaded for the short, which makes me not want to be short. The market is designed to go up. I need bases loaded to go short. Look, you see, and VIX is rejected. Nice. Look at that. Freezing in here. We do have news at 10, right? The JOLTS job openings is at 10. So let's check out the news links. Calendar Forex Factory here for Tuesday shows JOLTS at 10. And then you have some FOMC members, Fed members speaking in the afternoon. If we also go look at this economic calendar here, usually pretty good. Not showing anything different. All right. Look at this friggin' thing. Huge breakaway gap there. Needs to not reject this. Oh. Okay. Oh, no. What did I do yesterday? I kind of did like something like this. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. I need to just change these to the account that I will be trading first. So that way it's all set. Yeah, that was the long entry right there, I think. Even though you had the big upper wick there, it looks gross. It just wicks down one tick below that candle and then boom. Hey folks, water check. Crazy. We've been on this thing 30 minutes. No trades. That's all right. Yeah, good thing they're on the read, right? I think this was one that's burned plenty of people where they just like, you know, want to instantly go short this because the candle by candle flips short, especially like pivot breaks and then it flips short. Like I get that, but the 2-minute is not in line. Been a big thing that saved me plenty of times lately. Look at my laptop. Tesla bouncing right out of that cloud. Shit. 20 EMA. And that was it. Man. Netflix went up to $12.30 a share and rejected $15. There we go. Damn. We're just cooking. ABGO 252. Semiconductors are really leading the way here. Nvidia pushing 140. AMD over 115. Hello, Pooch. Hi, buddy. Hi, you want some of that stew? Hi. Fluff ball. What's up, Sam? Go sit on the couch so they can see you. Go sit on the couch so they can see you, huh? Watch and learn something? Market is bullish. Tell them, don't short the longs, bro. Tell them, don't short the longs. My buddy. Yeah. Definitely don't want to take any options trades before that 10 a.m. news, right? I've seen JOLTS do some nasty things to the market. As far as like taking a scalp is a different story. So we just broke the high of day there. See how this plays out here? Just this little, like, look at that. It's like they know where people put their stops. They just hit it and they go. But also, it's like sort of overlap in this area. There we go, coming back down. Get it to come down a little more and maybe take it. It says no, Joe. Looks like it's got opportunity to break the highs. Okay. We swept the high. Hmm. I really like this one. I feel like I want to change it. I'm very interested in this here. This long right here on pre-market high, but ABC didn't flip back long. We still have VIX is long and NQ is short. Yeah. Should have taken it. I know it's now the 2-minute CBC flipped short, but I think this is a fake out on the EMAs. That's okay. There'll be other ones too. That's not the one. But that would be in and out already. 15 points. Nvidia pushing to 140. I keep looking to, I have this same thing, this same one. I keep looking like to here for meta, and it's gonna take some getting used to that it's in here. But Weezer bottom set up under pre-market lows. Yeah, there we go. That was it. That was it. Like, that was enough. That's more than enough, right? Like, every key entry in this area between here and here. 59s and 64. Missed it. Hesitated. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, all of XLF. This finance is weak. Oh, I mean, that was it. Let's see if it reclaims and flip. Oh, man, we're 7 minutes to the news, so we're going to probably just wait that out. No flip here, but no follow through, so. Weak sector here, the bank. Affecting, this is going to affect ES, but this is not going to affect NQ. Yeah, because there's no banks in NQ. Here we go, AMD new highs, AVGO new highs, Nvidia new highs. This would have been great though. We have news at 10. There's nothing to just waiting it out. This fucking bull trade is bull chart is terrible. Tesla. Dude, we're just gonna wait. Let's just wait for this news. Fucking A. It's funny. It's funny. It's like, you idiot. You could have been in here. Imagine if I was at the point where I wanted to. I was getting back into taking 2 cons. You know what I mean? 15:30. Bang bang. My general like kind of thought process is like, can this move 40 points from where I'm looking to enter, right? So I'm looking to take a 15-point scalp, and I want to, I objectively want to be able to see that it's going to move 40 points, and kind of just a weird thing I picked up a long time ago. And if I can say that I think yes, I kind of get like a F yes, it's going to move 40 points, then I should be able to take it for the 15 without it, you know. Not to say it won't pull against me first, but like, key thing to point out is that when I did take that second trade yesterday, like you saw it to that first trade, but I took a second trade in here yesterday. I never would have gotten stopped on the original stop for the remainder of the day, or even now if I was still holding it, right? So it's very interesting. So good thing though, not cutting that paper trade, as funny as that is. Tesla is moving nicely. Nice. This is it. This is gonna go. This is like primo right here, except we got the news in a minute. So news in 50 seconds. We're not touching a damn thing. Hands off, baby. Hands off. we go. VIX is gonna drop. Nice flag look here on ES. There goes Tesla. Oh, it's like a day early on NVIDIA, huh? There goes Tesla too. Like I talked about. I just didn't want to get in something before JOLTS, but technical setup was there. Is Apple pushing that daily 20 EMA? A little bit of resistance. It's this freaking 250 breakout here on AVGO. This is nice. I don't know if I have the all-time high marked on AVGO. Do I? No, I don't. No, it just made it. That's it. All-time high. There we go. So, boom. Yeah, it just broke it. New all-time high on AVGO. Awesome. Awesome. Leave that here just so we have like a level of reference for today's session, and then I'll adjust it for the new high for today. There goes Tesla. So, boom. And there goes the market. All right, we'll be waiting for a pullback. Waiting for VIX to drop under that 18.25 level as well. This is just going. They're going. Wow. Almost $200 a contract for when I even just loaded them up just to see what they would look, what the contract chart looked like. Beautiful. Beautiful. Making money on paper though. That's fucking epic paper trade, to be honest. This is on the 15-minute chart. So like, here was my long entry yesterday that I scalped. Came down, broke this level. That was the, where is it? Here it is. We did from yesterday's lows to yesterday's session high. Boom. That was it, basically. Okay, hold on. Let's go up a little bit more. Basically what I was looking at right there. That's the entry. So it was a little bit, I think it's just the difference in like the magnet mode or whatever, because it's a little bit different. But when I did it on TOS, it was 0550, but yeah, whatever. We'll just leave that drawing there. Great. Now we're over the orb high.
Order submitted.
Oh, we... I'm gonna move this out of the way because I want to see what it's like when it interacts there and I can drop it in there. Yeah, this thing's just going. Apple off of the daily 20 EMA. A little rejection. AMD just made a new high. Interestingly choppy right here. And look at the key level to watch. Why is this a key level to watch? If we go back to Jesus, where is it? Oh, there we go. Yeah, this general area. Actually, I really like this here, here. As well. Okay. I remember I just marked that as a key level to watch because I wanted to just be alerted that we were in that general vicinity. So get back. That reminds me. I just wanted to be alerted in that general vicinity. And so see, like, yeah. What happens? Nothing. Yeah. They're buying it right back up. Big spot to break low a day. ES made high day and is pulling back some though. Yeah, I want to just wait. Still pulling back. Meta's really chopping there. Microsoft trying to push. Apple is putting in quite the rejection of that cloud. Microsoft trying to get this curl. Gotta go. See, it's in that gap. It's gotta go. Gotta go higher. Gotta get over high day. Gap is strong. Meta's still looking weak. Not getting follow through off this news. This is not look. See, this is why I don't want to be in this trade.
Canceled.
See, like, I don't want to just blindly have an order there. Like, I'm in and out. I'm already stopped. Yeah, see, now this is the news candle right here. This one. VIX is bouncing. It didn't break a new low a day. You right here? Oh, we're just waiting, right? The money's made in the waiting. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. Google rejecting, looks like previous day's low. Nice. SPX puts. Nice job, Maple. Yeah, big rejection on ES. Big rejection. But look, we came right back down to this area and that's where we're bouncing. You know, I really thought right here off pre-market high, I really thought, wow, you know, I could take this and there's a fair chance it bounces. And it bounces 30 points, 25 points already. But it just wasn't trying to like predict that like, hey, we're going to get a bounce here, per se. Let's throw this up here on the 5-minute chart. Let's see what the 5 looks like. Oh yeah, okay. Nice. Yeah, really nice there on that pre-market high. Same area right here. Holy shit. I think I'm going to try this long. Halfway in that wick. 5-minute looks a little weak. 10-minute doji there. VIX flip short.
Order filled.
I'm taking it. I feel like they're trying to hold that 2 minute 20. Okay, this trade should not go red. Went too close to go red. That's my rules. Too close again. Second time. Come on, give it to me. Don't be stubborn.
Order cancelled.
Okay. We got about 5 points to 5.5 points, so not the best. See what happens. Back down to entry. We're looking for right about here. Okay. So, we're managing the stop a bit. But, kind of tough when you're dealing with trailing drawdown too. It's okay. If we get a 2 minute CBC flip, I was against a 2 minute CBC, but that's not like a hard rule. It's just kind of like a guidance thing. Obviously the price action is most important. Tesla all the way back into that same area. Just let it go. Okay.
Order submitted.
It's still moving down. Ooh. That's it. Oh shit. Couple ticks. Dude, Apple and Microsoft bearish. The semis are really running AMD. AVGO, NVIDIA new highs.
Order canceled.
How unfortunate is that?
Order submitted.
Oh, well, that's me buying Tesla. I'm going to try these Tesla calls. I mean, what? I don't know about this. Is a big drop here. My order was originally here. Let's see. Let's just see. I just want to be in control of like how much is this rejecting, or is this creating a lower high here? But VIX is holding that low. Hmm. Let's see. It looks good. Looks good. There we go. It's going. Yep. Missed it again. Hmm.
Order canceled.
There's VIX making a new low of day. ES is approaching that gap. Here. What an entry here. What about? Yeah. No gap up. Okay. I'm just looking at SPX. The SPX chart.
Order submitted.
Imagine if I'm...
Order submitted.
Okay, we're in. I'm at 10:21. Okay, so this is a new 10-minute candle. Same thing. I do not feel like I should let this trade go red. We're up 10 points on a 15-point target. Being very defensive with my capital. Yeah, I'm going to make the decision not to let it go red. Below this candle. Stop. Yeah, VIX is making a Phobo look, and I don't particularly like it. So I think this is the right move here, just being protective. But just trying to hold it.
Order canceled.
Two ticks from Tesla take profit, and now it's pulling back. I think I'm going to retake it.
Order submitted. Order submitted. VIX is fading a little now. You fading off of that? Well, let's see if we're trying to hold in this body here.
But it's chopping. Looking for the bulls to really give us a pop here. Nails back at the high. Go down. Okay. That's a good candle. I like this as like a pullback, so I'm good. Alright, same deal. Oh, come on. This range is really tightening right here. Watching this 10-minute. VIX is moving down some more. I'm gonna move this alert down to 1820. VIX is about to break low a day. ES is looking okay too. Oh,
Order canceled.
there we go. Okay, so we got it. That's 15 points. I just want to evaluate quickly the first trade that I took, the first entry. So the entry was here at 07. It pulled down only 10 points. But you know, collectively, I did, although you know, I made a little bit more. 2 entries, but you know, I still took a little profit here, and then I got the full 15. So great. Tesla approaching risk levels here. Unfortunately. Close. Watching it. Really rejected off of that orb high. 340. Ah, it's previous day's high too. Here's what I'm talking about. Here. I think we're good. I'm just watching like the options chart as well. So there's VIX new low of day alert. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go down to 1811 now. Next target. Sorry, it's gonna go off again. There's ES pushing. There we go. TBC flip and pull back halfway into that little body. So let me move this. I want to just go through all of the accounts that were copy traded with this one and make sure that we don't have any phantom orders lying out there, which we do not. Okay, that's set up for the next one. Here's the next one. Okay. Oh, Tesla, so unfortunate. Right, that's the second alert, so it's a new minute, so it just re-triggers the alert because I moved it. There it is. Look at that. We're getting the gap fill right here. We're over last week's high on the regular trading hours for ES. I just about to cancel it. I was like, oh, it's gonna hit, but there we go. So gap is filled now. We can update this to reflect. Oh, initial balance 1030. That's initial balance high. Nice. Boom. So that's filled. Off. So 520 to 521 gap down now filled. I technically speaking need to jot those trades down. So 3 attempts, right? Go back to it. Yeah, 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3. Yes. Both would have worked if I was more patient. Little rejection there. Hmm. Okay, back on orb high here. Oops. Let me switch this back to the account that will be traded next. Top here. Back on orb high here. Holding, so it's got a nice like zone. You can see this is a good, which one is that? F9? Trend line? See. Coming back. Yep. Okay. So ideally, I think we should see VIX not come over 18.5, but I'm gonna put the VIX alert like at high of day now. Actually, just a little below it. IMS is crashing down. Yeah, cleared that level and rejected. Let's see some other names. Other things to watch. Bull. Bull's really been bullshit. UNH. Struggling with 306. Come on. Usually if you double click in that. There we go. Want some hourly charts. Yeah. UNH just going sideways. I never updated yesterday's close, huh? Oops. Looking on 1 day chart? Yeah. Like this thing's gonna puke. We'll see what happens. What about bull? Yeah, this thing is puking. Stair stepping its way down. Gross. Yeah, so hymns again. Tesla's back under the opening print actually, so I don't know if this is gonna may not actually play out well. Watching that on the other screen. It still looks good. For the long. Like on a daily? Mm-hmm. Looking good. Monthly's nice too. Oh, there we go. See if it's going to come back up. Let's see if they're going to defend the candle by candle here on the 10. No, no thank you. No, not interested in joining your Discord. Maple entered Tesla puts. Ah, this is so bad. Like, now I'm trading against him. Hate that. I mean, this looks very strong. Like, this has got a big arch here. Big curl up here. 22 seconds. If we get this candle by candle to flip back bullish on the... Oh. Shit. I deleted the 20 EMA. But let me get that back on there. Yes. Oh, this is what I want. Oh, there's still more time here in this. There's a minute left in this 2-minute candle. VIX went up and hit that orb blow. 5 EMA. This is the tempting spot right here. What's the risk? 01. He's raised like 20 points. It's gonna go. Tesla's going too. Back to break even. Or over break even, sorry. That's a shit entry on my part. Yep. That's exactly what I was looking for right here is we hit this lower cloud. We get a candle by candle flip here on the 2-minute and we reclaim that your 9 is right here as well. I just know this is a 512 cloud, so I know the 9, again, I'll just put it on there so you guys can see for a quick second, right? So I just don't like having the additional line. I don't need it. I can tell where it is. Put a 9 on there. Niner. 9. Let's do green. See? Reclaim both of them. So, anyways, what I'll do is, I'm just gonna turn that off. And make it invisible, and then boom, it's there. Okay, so CBC was defended. Initial drop there. Yes, with the gap fill. Taking it. If we're just sitting like inside the bill break levels. right at the orb high. And it's really slow.
Okay, so we have now just finished our first work.
40 points would be a new high day. See it, the flag. Inverted hammer though on VIX at the low of day. 1811 is a key pivot to break. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I think that could eventually find something. It's only 10:42, but it's just. I feel like it's baiting me in here. I'm worried about that ES gap fill, and I mean it rejected that gap. That gap to the tick. And down more. Let's look at the name. Let's look at what's going on here. So, Apple trying to get the 3450 bounce. Netflix is bearish all day. Microsoft 3450 bounce or low area. Not looking the best. AMD rejecting out of the gold zone of a gap. Not exactly ideal. This is looking weak. Strong. Raising new all-time high on AVGO. There's meta dropping. Yep, there's meta dropping some more. So I feel like it's gonna go. I feel like it's gonna go. Yeah, look, we just broke down some more.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
No. No. I don't. Okay. There's VIX new low day under 1809. Next alert is 18. We go 1801. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. That's like 10 points from where that supposed entry was. There it is. There it is. This is crazy. This whole run up CPC is still short on the 10. Pretty funny. Here we go. You know, I should want to check too. Let me check the 5. Yeah. Nice. This 5-minute flag is beautiful. Looks a little bit choppier and iffier here, but really beautiful. You know, buying in here at the 03s, 05s. Great. Looking good. Looking good. All right. I still like that Tesla is kind of making this like big oops, charts. Big flag here. All right, we're holding the higher low. Yeah. How else is gonna go? I mean, the 10-minute EMAs are strong, right? The 9 EMA would be right in here. So this is a 9. You know, this is where I should have entered. Especially with no CBC flip. This is the best place to enter. But my entry's fine. It'll be fine. That is bouncing off low of day, right? Microsoft is trying to turn off that 3450 cloud. Apple is as well. Look at this thing go. AVGO. AV go. Don't forget, everybody, if you're liking the vibe, then like and subscribe. Boom. Babe, you like that one-liner? Goes, yep. Oh, it's only going to get funnier here, folks. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Funny how taking that trade would have worked. But I stopped. I felt like it was like an impulse thing, and I caught myself and just took it off. Even though I've been analyzing this chart for an hour. Even now, like, look how it's just like not pushing down. I feel like there's room even to get in here and see this potentially surge, right? Like, and where are we looking to surge? We're looking to surge. Here's 30 points right up there. Yeah, look at this thing. It's again, it's exactly it. So this is like the stuff that you can't see when you review a chart at the end of the day, is like just how this was just doing this little like it's not getting anywhere. You know? Look how just jumping down, the bid's jumping down and then it stops. So I would really like to have an entry right here. But I don't think it's going to give me one. And VIX is pushing 18. ES just closed at the top of the gap. That's nice. That's bullish. That's a little choppy right there. CBC finally flipped long on the 10. All right, we finally got some bases loaded action. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. Come on.
Order submitted.
Buy red. Oof. Nothing done. That's shallow pullback.
Order canceled.
There it is. I mean, you guys were watching the video. I've seen it here. 30 points now. I almost said scale if you took it, but none of you are going to take this because this is you're going to watch this after the fact. That's a high day break retest. High day break and retest. Tesla at orb high now. Crack that same level again. Let's see if it pops through. It's going to hit my. It should hit my order, my same one from before. VIX is sitting at 1807, falling. Just reading the notifications on my phone. Okay, so we just broke the orb high on Tesla. Approaching that area. We're gonna go break last week's high, I think at 679.75. Right here. I'm gonna put a line here as like a target. What's the hotkey for drawing a line? F6. Last week high. There we go. Come on, Tessie. For a Tuesday, these are moving slow. Okay, there's the Tesla scaling out half. Next scale is set for basically for high of day. So if we get a high of day break, I'll scale there as well. But it's all the trade. For a trade that could have been an L. I have to rewatch the tape. Nice. Nice holding up there. That's a big rejection there over that orb high. Yeah, well, kind of orb breaking base actually. It's not bad on the 2 minute. Let me know what I'm talking about. Oh, come on. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. Let's go. Let's go. See, so you can't just watch the 10 minute and be like, oh no, it's rejecting. See, the 5 looks good. The 10 looked ugly for a second. The 10 had this long wick for a minute, but come on. I know you can do it, Tessie. I know you can do it. Do it for the boys. Go. Okay. Look at Apple turn around. 34.50. But you don't go short here. Bullish. The setup like that, you don't go short. Oh my god. Yep. I really gotta watch the tape back because this was the long. This was the long. My god. M's with the gap fill. With the gap and crap, huh? Pushing. Rejected. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna delete this. Now, oh, I just like to clear things off that, like, you know. Hey, VGO, my god. Look at this. Even Nvidia. All right, there we go. There's oh, come on. There's VIX with a new low. That's a Tesla high day break scale. We just trimmed one there. You guys see in the top corner, chart flagged. Nice. We're looking for that last week RTH high break, and then the extended hours one. This gap is filled on NQ, but I just have like watch levels, right? Because if we go back to like the 30-minute chart, this was after hours, so I want to see what the interaction is following the fill in RTH. So like I want to see another RTH interaction because here it was like gap fill and just flushed, and it flushed so decisively in a 30-minute candle. Like I mean, it made a measured move of the gap fill. What I mean is, if you took the top of the gap to the bottom here, right? Then you take that and you put this here from the gap fill. It fulfilled a measured move of the gap fill in the first 30 minutes, so indicating like a lot of bearish strength here. So I'm, I'm gonna put this as pivot to watch too. I'm just really curious what's gonna happen. Pivot to watch. All right. But we're a long ways away from that. But damn, I botched that. I really, really, really botched that. Or high breaking base. It was just too good. Look at her go. Look at her go. Elon, I love you. I know it's not Elon here we're talking about, but there we go. There we go. Push until last week's high. So can we go 40 points from here, right? Look at, we've gone 60. So Tesla MTF long, right? I called that out in the pre-market. In the video, go back and watch the tape. So that's good. That's really good. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and trim another one there on Tesla. I didn't realize we catapulted up another $50 a contract from where we sold that one. So down to about 30% of the position here. And putting in another order there. Yeah. Also going to create alert at or below 348. So should Tesla come back down to 348, I want to be notified repeatedly. So what I'm doing here to make the repeating alerts, and I did make this into a video, right? It's, look, so put on ring, but then you go down to the bottom here where it says options, and then you make it a regular alert and hit create. But I'll be right back. All right, I had to grab protein shake and a little snack here, so I have some food in my system when I go to the gym. This cord is heavy and annoying. He's pulling out of my ear. I like this. See this like pullback right here before the level? I think we're gonna go. I'm just looking at a message somebody sent me with that MNQ chart. It looks a lot different. It looks like at least their drawing does. Oh, I don't know. Must be losing it. I can't figure it out. I'm worried about that later. All right. I'll go on mute when I'm eating so you guys don't hear me chew. All right, Apple strength here. Netflix still bearish. Microsoft reclaiming the opening print and VWAP. Meta's like choppy bearish here. Bear flag look. Nvidia literally was a day early. Tesla's still holding up nicely here in the 2-minute cloud. That's fine. Google rejecting previous day's low again. ABGO. It hit ATR, so that was like your target. AMD room to fill the gap at 117 and change. VIX right under 18, so cautious here. This is a bounce spot for VIX, which would put bearish pressure on the market. There's another gap to be filled up here on ES. SPX has a similar gap to fill. This one, go to the gap set. Oops. Okay. So that this is from the looks like it's from the same day. $519 to $520. This is off. Then what about NQ's gap? Hold on. Oh, okay. NQ filled this one. It's right here. There's just a big difference, a little divergence between the two. But yeah, going back to ES, we have this gap level here. All of this is what's unfilled. That's what we're targeting. Not filled during RTH. That doesn't count for me. Anyways, this is how I do a TA. How I do the TA. Oh, this looks like it's gonna curl. I'm taking this.
Order submitted.
Feel like we're gonna just go like this. could be very wrong. But should have waited for more of a pullback here. And also I have 2 minute CBC is short. But I think we're gonna go break that last week's high. That's what I think we're going for. Come on. Come on. Come on. VIX is dropping 1794. Come on. Come on, we're gonna break that last week's high. Come on. Stop filled. That's what's coming. If I had a better entry, like literally if I would have just waited a few minutes and had a better entry, even just a little bit lower, I would have been fine. Like I would have already been out. You know what I'm saying? But I just put my sleeve in the peanut butter. Okay, we're going to get the majority of this either way.
Order canceled.
Yo, that's how we do it. That's how we do it, folks. And we done. We done for the day on that one. Last week's high broken. We done for the day. So, got a lot to review, right? Really got a lot to review because this right here is, you know, I see, this is it, right? So this is like a redo and it looked a little different. But I got some stuff to review. I should have been, you know, willing to accept the risk and take the long in here, right? And there's a lot of folks, I want to just cover this too. There are a lot of folks, if we go to a 15-minute chart, who have been playing this like 15-minute orb for a while, right? So if I go, I think it's F9. Yeah, so if I draw this, this is the 15-minute orb level. Right? And look how we just basically we're basing off of it. Like this was fine. The 30-minute orb was here as well. So like we're really good. And then there's people who play the 5-minute orb, but the 15-minute orb has been getting the most. Yeah, look at this. Look at this on the 5-minute chart. I mean, this was just screaming go long there. And I should have, right? And I you know, wouldn't have been, you know, doing this, right? But VIX broke down, and now it's breaking back up a little bit. Tesla is actually like setting up a nice 3-bar type play here. But look, here we go. We're breaking down. So I'm going to move this alert to the top of this gap. Oh yeah, Tesla's going to go. Look at this flag. Look at this beautiful flag on the 2-minute, guys. Look at this. Which we just took on NQ, right? These contracts, though, are just moving like doo-doo. Doo-doo. My wife's laughing. Chocolate rice cake and peanut for the win. All right, so I just wanted to make sure that all the orders were off. All right, that we didn't have anything else lingering. And here's the day, right? So you can see these ones with the multiple trade attempts there, and then the ones here with 15 points. So good, it's fine. Everything is solid. Yeah, really looking all right. So I'm gonna wrap up the recording here. Tesla, I'm basically gonna get down to just like, if we break this high here at 352, I'm gonna get down to like 1 contract or 2 contracts. So I'll be pretty solid. And let me see. Yeah. And that's gonna wrap it up for me, guys. So I appreciate you watching again. Like the vibe, then like and subscribe. And see you guys later on. And I appreciate the support too for all of you who like, subscribe, comment, you know, show your support, show your love. It does mean a lot. This shit's hard as fuck. It's been hard as fuck for me. May was the worst month I've ever had, so hopefully that's the last time I have to ever have to say that. That, you know, that a month was the worst one I've ever had. Hopefully May 2025 will be the worst month I've ever had, and I can leave that in the history books. So see you guys later.